Hello students, welcome back to Toppers World. Today's my tutorial is IELTS reading shortcuts. What kind of shortcuts are there and why do we need to apply them? If you ask me personally, I would not recommend that you should use shortcuts. But there are certain situations come when we are running out of time, or we see that there is one full passage left and we have just 5 minutes. So at that time these shortcuts can be of great use, because instead of leaving questions unattempted, it's better that we can use certain tricks, certain hacks to attempt all the questions. Because if you attempt only 2 passage, means 26 questions, then you will not get 6 pad. If your attempt is 40, then chances of getting 6 pads are very high. So let's see what shortcuts are there that we can use in IELTS reading. So first of all, I'm going to share with you some tips that you can apply while attempting yes, no, not given, or true, false, not given type of questions. When you are having very less time, 2-3 minutes, then how can we attempt such questions quickly without much reading? For yes or true, if you find such certain words like oftenly or often, frequently, sometimes, quite often, may, might, can, could, most of the time, mostly, some, sometimes, certainly, definitely, if you find such kind of words in the question statement and you are not having much time to think, then 80 to 90% chances are that the question statements having such kind of words or phrases are usually yes or true. 80-90% chances are that. I'm not going to tell you that it's 100%, because sometimes there might be certain changes, and but I already told you that such kind of tricks can be applied when we are running out of time. So if you find such words, you can go for true or yes, depending upon the type of question. For false or no, if the statement is having words like entirely, completely, on the whole, always, fully, ever, forever, indispensable, part and parcel, essentially, never, little, because they are very strong words, and usually in the when there are strong statements, then there are very much chances that they are either false or no, depending upon if you are having true false type questions, then you will write false. If you are having yes no type, then you put up no over there. Again, I am not 100% sure, but very much chances, like 80% chances are that they could be in no or in false. For not given, you should, if you find some phrases or words that show comparison or any sense that depict the comparative language, like such as less than, more than, greater than, bigger than, as compared to, comparatively, if you find such kind of words there, then you need not to think much. You can straightforwardly write not given. And important tip is that when the statements are very lengthy, like they are of 20, 25, 30 words, or 2-3 lines are there in the statements, and mostly those statements are true or yes, means 90% chances are that the lengthy statements are true or yes. So again, I advise you that if you are running out of time, then you need not to find the answer from the passage. You can straightforwardly or frankly write true or yes for those. MCQs are very difficult type of questions, and if they are in last passage, then things become worse for us. So I would like to suggest you that you just read the statement of MCQ, don't read the answers. Go to the passage, find the location, and whatever the information you first grab, keep in mind that whatever the information you get first, that is always correct. First info is always correct. 99% chances are that is correct. But if you read all the options in the MCQ A, B, C, D, then you will waste a lot of time, your mind will get distracted. You just go to the location by finding the keywords, and then try to make a quick assessment or judgment, then put up your answer over there. For question like matching the headings, you need to read only first two sentences of the paragraph, one middle sentence and one last sentence. This is sufficient for you to make a judgment, and then whatever the judgment that comes in your mind first, that is always correct, and go for the heading that you think that that matches the best. That is your right answer. In case of summary blanks, when you read the statement or sentences in the blanks, try to make some assumptions there. Means that you should think that what word can be there in the blank. Think about that and then find the answer in the paragraph. What the most of the students do that they just read and try to find the word over there by just searching for keywords. Now you have to do some brain exercise that how this sentence can be completed and what word suits there the most. And if you are able to make such kind of judgments, this thing is just very easy for you to do. So these are all the tips that I have given you, and they are very practical and workable tips, and I hope that you will take the advantage of them. Thank you very much and have a nice day.